right. Welcome to Northwest Exposure. Another episode we have Zach Bean on the show tonight. Musical guest Cowardice on the show, Jeremy Bushnell's band. And we're going to start out with a little bit of listen from them. Also on the show, our sponsor tonight, Upright Clothing Company. Awesome new shirts from Jim Kinsey. Got yourself the Bigfoot on there. Northwest for life. All right, Northwest style. And again, here is your musical guest, Cowardice. And if you know Jeremy Bushnell, he is an awesome dude from Washington. I'm sure you know him and his whole family, really. And he is the lead singer of Cowardice. And I'll play a little bit of music for you from them. There you go. Feel everybody there. That's so loud. All right, a little bit of Cowardice there for you. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, that's Jeremy Bushnell's band, 3640 Expert out of Washington. The band is out of Tacoma, Washington, Tacoma-based hardcore punk rock band. You can check them out on Bandcamp as well as Facebook, of course. And they have 2 albums out. That was from We Are Nothing, and they also have I Am Depression. And I got to say, Jeremy, nice, quiet, kind kid that I've known since we were like 14 or 15 blows me away with your voice. It's pretty rad, pretty fun, pretty cool. Again, hope you enjoyed that. We have tonight, on tonight's show, our guest. I'm really excited to have him on. He is my brother from another mother. We have been great friends since, I don't know, I was 15. He was like 11. And yeah, definitely can call this guy my best friend, brother. And again, want to welcome Zach Bean to the show. And here he is, Zach Bean. How are you?
How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did I blow your eardrums out?
No, you're good.
Okay, good.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Jeremy's insane. Yeah.
I know. I love it. Like I said, it was pretty cool. I've seen Jeremy post a lot of photos of him singing in the past, but never actually gotten to listen to him. And I like them. They are hardcore punk, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So, anyways, thanks again to that. And then, again, our sponsor tonight, Upright Clothing Company. Thank you for always helping us out, taking great care of us. Jim Kinsey, he actually relocated. He's up in Washington now. And, yeah, so he'll be at, like, all those state races, the Nationals up there, the Gold Cups, and slinging these shirts right here that I myself personally printed with my own 2 hands. And, yeah, so go check him out. And, Zach, what have you been up to? how's life, and what's it like? I mean, there's something big that happened, at the end of last year in your life, and I'll let you kind of talk about it. But how you been?
Yeah, it's what kind of day? I've been good. Crazy busy. Yeah, I had a set of twin boys last July, so I'm super excited about that. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna ever have my own, and so I'm like blown away. Like it's just every minute, is just like the coolest thing. Like they start crawling or anything, and I'm just like, oh my god, did you see that happen? Like
I know.
My wife's like, yes. I did.
Yeah, your wife, who has already had 3 children prior to you two being married, she's probably going. She's probably sitting back going, yeah, hun, they do that. They crawl, they laugh, they giggle, they do these things.
Their poop smells bad. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, all that stuff. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, what are their names?
Ben, Benjamin, and Dennis.
Nice. Yeah. Well, congratulations again. I was super happy and super fortunate enough to get to see them. After Worlds, I flew home. I landed in Portland, and I had to drive home from Portland. And so I stopped at the hospital and got to hold my nephews in my arms. And it was a pretty amazing moment. And I was super, super happy for you. Because, I mean, like you said, you were starting to probably wonder if you were going to get to have some of your own, little wee ones and whatnot. And, you guys were trying for a really long time. Do you want to indulge on how that came about and how you guys worked extremely hard to make this happen?
Sure. Well, my wife, Cammie, she had 3 kids when we got together, and in their previous marriage, she had gotten a tubal ligation. She got her tubes tied. And so, I was just kind of conceding to the fact that I probably would never have kids of my own. And, I'd get to be a dad to these 3 awesome kids, but I'd never have, blood kids of my own. And we were able to go through the IVF program, and we put in 2 eggs just to be sure, and we ended up getting both of them. So we got 2 for the price of 1, which is a great deal. And
that is a great deal, because I know that's probably wasn't cheap. So
no, not at all. But worth every penny. So.
Sorry. I decided to play with some sound effects, so you might be hearing some things now and then. So just to let you know.
All right.
So no, that's awesome, and congratulations to you and Cammie again, and Cammie's 3 little ones that I'm sure are happy and filled full of joy to have 2 little baby brothers now. I mean, that's got to be awesome for them too. So very cool, very good. And then, so what else you been up to other than playing daddy daycare from time to time?
Well, I actually started a business. Just at the end of February, I got licensed as a contractor and decided to pull the trigger on that whole deal because I've been hemming and hawing about it for years, and it just, like, everything keeps pulling me in that direction. So I went ahead and did it, and it's blowing up, and I, had to hire a guy within a couple weeks, and I'm getting calls like crazy, and I'm super stressed out, and I never sleep, and and it's going really good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's good to hear. I mean, it's got to be kind of cool. I mean, because you're over there in the Grand, and you've been there for what, 7, 8 years now? Maybe a little longer? Maybe longer.
2009, I think. So 9 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say, I mean, your dad's been there for the same amount of time, and he owns a B&B repair, so he owns a car auto shop. And so, I mean, in a sense, if anybody's been to LeGrand, it's not the biggest town in the world. So I'm sure the Bean Boys are kind of creating a great, name for themselves over there, and between your dad and yourself, and, really creating a good piece of the economy over there and stuff. So that's awesome to hear.
Right. Yeah.
Very good. Well, cool. So I got a quick question for you. So what's your future look like? I mean, you're doing really well with your business, and and obviously it's busy, but are there going to be some moments back out at the track again for you?
I would love, I would love to get back on the track. I talk about it all the time. I've purchased a 2-man gate. I have an ARM, and I have like the random box for it and lights and all that stuff. I have the ARM doesn't seem to want to work. I might have to just get a different one because I bought it years ago, and it's just been sitting. And and then I recently, this last winter, I turned my garage into a gym, and like everything's in place if I can just find the motivation and time to, it's really hard. It's really hard for me because I'm so busy with all these kids and work and everything, and I'm an hour and a half to the closest track, so it's really tough. Like even when I was getting back into it a few years back, I mean, I pretty much went to builds and raced.
Yeah.
And then I went to the gym and did sprints in front of my house, and that was it. My only gate time, was at nationals, except for a couple state races here and there throughout the the season. But other than that, it's all just, it's like Rocky style, just like running up and down hills, and like that's it. There's no track time and no trails, none of that stuff around here. So
well, I mean, it is difficult, but you got to also pat yourself on the back because during that time that you were hitting it when you were on the national build team with Lance and all the boys and whatnot, and myself at one point, which was a lot of fun, some of the funnest times in my life. You did make some amazing finishes, amazing races. I mean, you were killing it in the 2835X class, and I even remember at 27 in Vegas, you raced 1927X, your last 27-year-old race, and didn't you get second in 1927X in Vegas?
Oh gosh, something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We
were all just blown away. I had a
really good season.
We were just blown away, and then it was like, dude, when he goes to 2835X, it's gonna be no joke. And but luckily, I mean, you had some awesome competition too at that time between Weatherford and the other boys in there and stuff. So that was a lot of fun to get to watch you do and watch you be a part of and whatnot. So you gotta pat yourself on the back, man. I mean, being that far from a track and then still going and accomplishing that much, I mean, that's huge. And you could take that piece of accomplishment and put that toward your next comeback. I mean, you are kind of the king of comebacks, so So, well, I'd like to see.
I just got to do something about this 50 pounds that I put on since that last race.
Two and a half years ago now at Grants. Yeah.
It was 2014.
Oh my God,
Grants was my last race.
Wow, 2014.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
you need to get back out there. That's like too long. That's 4 years, dude.
I know.
Too long. We need to get Zach Bean back out there. Well, there's a will, there's a way. So make it happen. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What was it like? We hit on it a little bit being a dad to your new little ones and whatnot, but what's the biggest challenge and change in your life to go from, a family of 5, including you and Cammie, to all of a sudden a family of 7. So you have 3 kids and then boom, you have 5, and what was it like? How is Cammie I'm sure she's killing it, but how are you guys holding up with it? And what do you see coming that's really exciting as well for all your kids?
Well, I mean, I think the most challenging thing is just finding time to do anything. Like it's 2 babies is, I mean, I don't know what one baby's like. So
that's true. You don't, but you jumped right in and got 2.
2 babies is a lot of work. And I mean, bedtime starts at 7:30 and we're pretty much, I mean, that's it. There's nothing going on. We don't leave the house. You know what I mean? So it's just, I think the time thing is the hardest. I mean, yeah. And, but, I mean, we're already talking about striders and all that stuff, and I'm, like, I think one of the biggest drivers to get me back out will be, seeing them on two wheels. I can't wait for that. So, yeah. I'm super excited for that.
I bet that'll be quite the exciting part of it. I know I kind of, we'll see. Alistair's still just kind of creeping along with like, yeah, Dad, I want a bike. Takes like 5 pedals and is like, okay, peace out. Yeah. See you later.
Yeah, we'll probably end up liking video games or something else. Instead,
yeah, right.
But, I can always hope. So
yeah. So well, good. It's hopeful to see you come back out. I'd like, because you turn 33 at the end of the year, so you've always had a December birthday, and you turn 33 at the end of
November.
the year. And, November. That's right. And so me being your kind of coach / trainer during your last comeback, I'm feeling like this. If you put forth some effort this year, even just getting in shape, to where next year when you're 33, you come back and race vet. That's what I think.
Oh, geez.
That's what I think should happen, personally. You have to have your opportunity to go into the vet class. I mean, pretty much everybody that's hit 30 or 33 in the state of Oregon has gotten to go vet if there were still racing. So, like a rite of passage. It's like a rite of passage, exactly. I mean, David Miller, Eric Miller, all these guys, they all went vet at one point, and it's a rite of passage. I think you need to do it, and this year for the rest of this year, you can set forth some goals to really make that goal at the end of the year happen, because that's coming back and just going to race nationals in 2835X. Or no, 26 to 35X, which is BS class, but on a different note, coming back to race that, it is going to be challenging, because you've already done it. You already did 2835X. You did it very well. You accomplished a lot in the 3 years you did it. And it is going to be a challenge to make your mind, put forth that effort again. Whereas if you have a bigger goal, say Vet Pro, you can, make that goal more happenable, more able to do it. So, what do you think?
We'll see.
We'll see. Always that classic Zach Bean answer.
I'm sure you'll talk me into it.
I know. I will.
Yeah.
Well, good. So before we move into some social media questions, this kind of is social media-esque. I don't know if anybody's or who will listen to it yet. It's got to be a popular podcast right now. But our man, the podfather, as they call him, Dale Holmes, did a podcast with none other than Clayton John, and in back there in Atlanta at the National. And Clayton does, and for those of you that don't know who Clayton is really, in my mind, the godfather of ABA BMX racing as we knew it before the Olympics, and how it really became as huge and successful as it was. He is definitely the man, the myth, the legend that, created this system that went on for so long. So he was on Dale Holmes' podcast, and and he was the president of ABA, American Bicycle Association, for all those years. So he was on Dale's podcast, and he said just some of the most not groundbreaking. It's the things that a lot of people are saying and talking about, but for him to say it and to believe this and and see it this way is huge. And I'm just going to play the clip of a question that Dr. J. Rich, who also has his own podcast, asked for that podcast with Clayton. So here it is from Clayton John, question from Jason Richardson.
Absolutely. Do you want to, Jason, the questions from Jason Richardson? I had a couple of good questions about promoting it.
Obviously, so Clayton, you're seeing every era, all the changes. You started in a field with no electricity. Here we are in the Olympic Games, still asking the $1 million question, how can we grow this thing? And so Jason Richardson has always got great insight and great questions. What changes would you like to see? I mean, you've seen what's come of it. Where do we go from here? What do you want to see changed?
That's a pretty wide open question. But
right, and how we can, that leads into how we attract more people, and then, things of that nature.
Well, basically, I guess you get to what do I think of the sport now, or what do I think of what I'm seeing, and I no longer hold a gavel, okay, but quite honestly, I think I do not like the Olympic hill. I'm sorry, 8 meter to me has killed the desire for every kid to be wanting to do that.
Right.
And that's what had always had our numbers grow, because all the tracks were, when you came, you knew everybody raced on the same track. Okay, now when you go and you get into the Olympics, all of a sudden you got an 8 meter hill. And let's face it, I mean, there's more people hurt really bad, I think, on that. Now, maybe the numbers are coming down now, but I think the numbers have come down because not that many people are getting into it anymore. And I think that's a problem we have. And I'm not speaking for USA BMX or ABA anymore. I'm speaking from a person who's been there, seen some of the things. And that's one of the things I think we did wrong. I've always, I can't get it. I'm going to stick my foot in it now, but I've always been at odds with UCI. I'm one time we had I know,
absolutely not alone.
but they, who is this group who decides they're in charge of the world, and they're the ones that decide what you're doing and what you're not doing and why. I had to go to the Supreme Court one time so that we can have a race in Michigan before the national in Michigan that NBL was running. UCI said anybody who raced our race was not able to be allowed to race the NBL race. All right. And so I went to court with that, and we won. And they ended up rescinding it and going back and saying, I said, how can somebody from another country come in and say what we do in this country?
We're still asking that question.
I'm still asking. I'd say the answer is to get rid of that world dominance by a country that doesn't know what they're doing.
Well, unfortunately, that's the gateway to the big games, that carrot we're all chasing.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So do you feel like, I feel like the big hill has somewhat, I don't know if the word is right, homogenized. It's definitely made racing more clean. Track speed is the most important thing. I don't see a lot of rivalries out there. So when I compare the pro class.
So there it is from none other out of Clayton John's mouth. And yeah, man, I just, it blew me away. I mean, I don't know about you. What are your thoughts, Zach Bean? I'll give everybody kind of a quick history on Zach. We'll in the long program, of course, we'll get really down into the where Zach came from. But Zach's dad was track operator of Alpenrose Dairy. Zach's dad also went and helped build and work nationals. Zach went and built and worked nationals. So Zach's been, quietly, a piece of the puzzle on the national circuit, as well as just ABA and USA BMX. So Zach, what do you feel about that?
I want to listen to the rest of that podcast. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what he's saying. I mean, I can see how I haven't really, I haven't thought a lot about what some 6, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid thinks when they're watching that, but it's more just like a spectacle at that point. I didn't really. Yeah. I haven't thought about that because I've always wanted to try one of those hills, and I've never got the opportunity. So I'm like, I'm in a different mentality because I'm like, in my 20s when this Supercross stuff starts happening, late teens, so I've always wanted to try it. But I mean, I could definitely see where it could definitely scare some people away from it, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, and and I did get the opportunity to do it one weekend on one of the Dew tours, and I feel like myself, I was right at that age, that cusp of your mind really getting in the way of allowing yourself to do it properly and go down the hill and feel really 100% comfortable down the first straight with the berm jump and all that stuff. The rest of the track I was good on, but it coming into it later in age and whatnot, I know it was difficult for me, but I also like you were saying, I had this like, oh my gosh, I want to do this and whatnot, and the spectacle of it, and so I was myself too at that in that stage. And then I would say honestly, the thing I think that would have been really cool, because it would have made it really look like a different sport. But do you remember like the Vans Triple Crown and the X Games races?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish, I mean, and I know there's no way that race could have been in the Olympics. I understand that. But man, those races were so awesome. And I do feel like, you could have had both things like that going and not had them quite so joined, where you have this crazy thing that gets televised. It's, got all these people. Well, they didn't really have a whole lot of people at them, but they did get televised, which was awesome. And, and try to bring in outside money for these big pro events, right? Where everything else is allowed to be done how people want to do it in their country, wherever they might be and whatnot, and not have this governing body trying to, tell every country what they need to do and how they need to race. And I mean, it's been crazy watching, and it was kind of interesting because I know you weren't there quite yet, but I was working with the ABA when the UCI started putting their footsteps in the door, and it was such a crazy thing to watch. Like, these people that have been in charge of these races for so long have to like step back and like let some dude who's never even been to a BMX race run the event,
Right.
run the pro race, or whatever it might be. And it was just crazy. So anyways, if you haven't listened to the whole thing, it's High Low BMX podcast with Dale Holmes. He interviews Clayton John, the president of ABA, and it's really a great podcast. You need to listen to it. He talks about his very beginnings of being a BMX dad, just starting out as a BMX dad and doing the whole BMX dad thing, which I thought was really rad as well. So yeah, you got to watch it or listen to it, and it's very enjoyable. And Dale does a great job at letting Clayton speak for himself and kind of tell how it is. So it was really great. Thank you, Dale, for letting me play that during the show and talk about it a bit. And again, get on there, listen to it. Anyways, we're going to move on. I came up with a BMX game show. Okay. Zach doesn't know about this yet, but Zach and I have been friends since we were very young. And Zach knows that I'm stubborn and I'm bullheaded, and I very seldomly like to be wrong or admit that I'm wrong. And so we're going to play a game show, and it's just Zach. Zach's going to be answering the questions, and it's called Are You All-Knowing Or? And I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to tell you if you have it right or not. So here we go.
Okay.
See, this is perfect for you and I. This is perfect.
Yeah, I probably won't remember anything, but I'll give it a shot.
No, that's okay. All right.
Okay.
So 44 tooth or decimal?
Okay, hold on. So we're talking about what you prefer or what
No, your answer. And I will tell you if
Me,
you're right.
44.
44. Wrong answer. Get the decimal gear. See, this is a fun game. And you could be like, Adam, no.
Who decides the decimal gear is better? Who decides that?
Me. No, just kidding. So that's why it's funny.
So am I picking your answers?
No.
Is that what I'm doing?
No, you're picking your answers, and you can persuade me to your answers if I feel like you're wrong, but you're picking your answers. So your first one, unless you want to try to persuade me, because you can try on the first question.
There's just that's all right. We can move on.
Okay. All right. So I already know. I feel like I'm going to know the answer to this. 16, 17, or 18 tooth cog.
16.
Wrong again.
What? What's the
17.
What? I don't understand.
17 or 18. 17 or 18 would have been acceptable answers.
What?
Oh, this is fun. All right. 5 meter, 8 meter, or something in feet.
Let's go feet.
See, you got one right. Correct answer.
I'm on a roll now.
Although 5 meter is pretty damn fun. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on. Greatest Oregon BMXer before pro.
Greatest BMXer, Oregon BMXer that wasn't pro?
Yeah, the person could have gone pro, but I guess during amateur.
Oh, jeez. Way to put me on the spot with something like that.
I know.
There's been so many awesome kids. I don't like to pick people like this. Gosh, who would have done awesome if they kept in it? What about Nina?
Oh, man.
Talk
about throwing it back.
Incredible. And then just disappeared.
Wow. Well, I see, and this is why Brandon Bruneau said Seacrest. He said pre-pro. Brandon. And this is why I wanted you to answer your thought, because that is a dang good question. Had she had the opportunity, so for those of you that didn't know, because he said Nina Brown she was phenomenal. I mean, she was on her way to being one of the top pros. She was definitely one of the top amateurs, winning races tons, winning the Grands. She missed the title, I think, 3 times by rider count points. And that was a good answer. So I'm going to give you half credit.
Okay.
But
I'll take it.
My answer was going to be Olivia Armstrong, who is in the midst of her career, yes, but she does have 5 or 4 world titles and 2 amateur titles.
She's incredible.
So
I was thinking back today, I guess.
Yes.
I was thinking to the past.
No worries. That was a good answer. I liked it. Good answer. All right.
Love you, Olivia. Okay.
All right. Favorite track ever, if you can even remember.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. There's been so many that have like little things that I just loved about them. But, oh gosh, favorite ever. You know, when I was growing up, nothing was ever smoother than Cottage Grove. So when I was little, that was my favorite, just because like nothing had ever been groomed that well. But favorite ever, I think the most fun I ever had on the track was our track we had at Alpenrose, because I was able to just me and you designed that rhythm section, and I was able to just like session that thing for hours, and that's all I ever want to do is write rhythm sections. So it was perfect, and it was like a 240-foot rhythm section or something like that. You know, it was like unheard of at the time. So it was, yeah.
Man, I'm gonna give you full credit, because it's good. I sadly didn't get to ride that track enough. I had a girlfriend at the time that didn't like me going to the track very often. I lived all the way in Gresham, and yeah, definitely didn't get to ride that track enough. I can't even honestly remember it well enough, but I do remember that it turned out awesome and amazing, and we had definitely done something that no one in Oregon was doing, and possibly, around, a big portion of the country. So it was pretty rad. So Alpenrose, Derry, days, late 90s, good times. It was late 90s, right?
Yeah.
So Cammy, your wife wrote really quick. This was really funny. Adam is just wanting to tell you that Zach is wrong. Laugh out loud. This is a fun game. I want to play too.
I'm pretty sure that's what was happening. But.
Yeah. Okay, next question. And this one might ruffle some feathers, but just know that I love you guys. So keep the feathers down. Just lay them down. It's all good. Oregon State Finals in Malala for the second year in a row. Yay or nay?
Oh, am I answering this?
Yeah, you're answering this.
I'd rather not.
That was so eloquently put.
Yeah.
Correct question.
Did I get that one right?
Yeah, you got that one right. Okay.
So,
yeah. I know. Total. Just want to be honest. Not gonna probably be there unless I'm there for some reason. But anyways,
there's potential there.
There is. Hey, I did see that Mike Dahlberg was moving dirt around just the other day.
Yeah, it could be totally rideable now. Who knows?
It could be. Maybe as long as the first jump is like 18 more feet away from the start hill. No, actually, it probably is where it needs to be, considering the first turn is flat. So, yeah, true. All right, moving on. Scratch Labs or Cytomax?
I never really got into that stuff, so I can't tell you.
Oh, well, you just wrong answer.
Sorry. Oh, dang it.
Wrong answer. All right.
That's all. Let's do it.
All right. Squat or deadlift?
Ooh, squats.
Ooh. Good one. Although lately I've been doing a lot of deadlifts. In that mode of, I want to pick up heavy weight off the ground. It's kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. Makes you feel a little bit like a man. So,
If I could figure out a workout routine that involved only doing squats, I would be a happy camper. Because I love squats.
Wow. You just you just kind of made your answer. Bump-a-duh. All right. Best BMX frame ever. Race frame.
My favorite that I ever rode was my old Chrome Ollie Pro Concept. That was my favorite, and that's the right answer.
Wrong answer. Your basic that you're still riding right now. Designed.
Huh?
Your basic is your favorite frame ever, don't you know?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what I said. Did I say something else?
No, you were wrong. Oh, man. No, your Pro Concept.
Maybe I was just
Your Pro Concept
maybe I was just
kind of weird.
Yeah, I love that bike.
I tried.
It was 5 pounds, and
I know.
It didn't matter.
Remember, I even built it up once with my parts and tried to ride it, and was like, how do you race this thing? It's so fucking weird. Oh, that bike was weird.
Whatever, dude.
That was a weird bike. Well, and
you were just jealous.
I also had to race it at Utah in the main event because something happened to my bike, and I don't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to race it, and you ran your rear end all teeny tiny with a 42-16, and I got my ass smoked on your bike. And I was like, crap, I could have picked any other bike.
Oh, yeah. I was going through a weird
Yeah.
I was going through a weird place in my life at that point.
Yeah. 42.16.
I think I was still running 180 cranks too in a 42.16.
Yeah, you were 180 cranks, 42.16. I was like,
it worked.
I know for you, for you.
I don't know how I could ever pedal that fast, but
I don't
I
either.
definitely can't do that now.
I know. Indoor or outdoor nationals?
Outdoor.
Correct answer. Yes. Good answer. Good answer. Even though we're plagued with indoor nationals in freaking Northwest for all these years, but yay. Come on, Eugene. Get it together. Come on. And I'm not talking Jason Germain or the track operator right now. I'm talking Eugene. The city. Get it together. Get a damn national there. Tired of this indoor BS. Anyways. Good stuff. Okay. The all-time GOAT.
Oh, geez. My favorite of all time always has been, always will be Mario Soto.
Ooh. I'll give you 10 seconds to sway my mind. 10 seconds.
None of that stuff aside, favorite rider of all time, Mario Soto.
I'm going to give you half credit, but you're still wrong.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't even have an answer. I don't know if it's Soto was amazing, but I don't really have an answer. That question has been so overdone on podcasts and stuff, but I find it very enjoyable still. Probably because I can't come up with an answer, and I just don't know because there's too many things.
I mean, yeah. What do you use to judge it? Because I mean, like actual, like natural ability, like the work they put in, the finishes they've gotten, their titles. Like, what is it? I mean, there's be a lot of different answers depending on what categories you're using to judge it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Bring back ... question mark.
Oh, geez. Bring back. I got nothing. Me. I'll come back.
There you go. Bring you back. That is the right answer. Oops, wrong button.
Okay.
It's good. Correct answer. Bring Zach Bean back to BMX. He really does make BMX more fun. He really does. The Zach Bean guy, having in the pits, hanging out, yeah, he really does. So, all right, next question. Pee Wee Lee or Pee Wee Clark?
Well, sorry, cut out.
Pee Wee Lee or Pee Wee Clark?
Pee Wee Lee.
Ooh. I'm going to go with wrong answer.
Oh, dang it.
Pee Wee Clark. I love them both, but I've known Pee Wee Clark for longer, I guess. All right. So on the note of Pee Wee Clark, did you listen to Pod Clark's or Pod Clark's?
No, I planned on plugging it in while I was working that one day, and I just nope, still haven't planned on it.
All right. Then you wouldn't know about so Steve Clark is doing a Battle of the Northwest at the Gold Cup Finals, so you know a little bit about that. So, all right.
Yeah,
so,
I did it on Facebook. You guys, I think you talked about it in the live portion.
Oh yeah, we did. So, all right, then Oregon or Washington?
Oregon. That was a silly question.
Exactly. It's good. I might, be the first person to say.
I have to say that this Battle of the Northwest is one of my biggest motivating factors, though, in thinking about its time. Is people need to recognize that Oregon is better than Washington. So I need to do what I do my part.
All right.
So
Although on the podcast, when I was talking to Steve, I did tell him that, I mean, there are more better riders in Washington. Sorry, guys. There are. I guess we'll find out, though. Now, I will say that right now.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. I was going to say quality or quantity. So right now, the quality that Oregon has, woo, way up there, guys. Yeah. So just because there's only a few doesn't mean they're not the best. All right. Good stuff. Now we're going to move on to the social media questions. We got a few. Not a ton, but a few. And let me get my little screenshots up here. All right. Bill Coffin from Seth Coffin's father. And also Bill Coffin was a big piece of the puzzle at Emerald Valley BMX in Eugene for a lot of years. Asks, how many nicknames has Zach earned? What are they? And how did he earn them?
I think I've only really had two.
Okay.
The first one has plagued me for years. It's the Princess.
Oh my
Thanks,
God.
Eric Philly. Appreciate that.
Oh, that's right. Eric gave you that nickname.
Yeah.
How did he come up with that?
Okay. So we were, gosh, I don't remember if it was a state finals or it was some sort of like double, triple point race down in Bend. And he and I used to always do these like pump race battles after the races, or we would like play kind of like horse, like through rhythm sections and stuff, or like, you know, do what I do, then elaborate, and we'd go back and forth and all that kind of thing. And we've been going at it that weekend, and that night, apparently, his wife or something found this bracelet in like a baseball diamond near where they were camping that said Princess on it. And he gave it to me the next morning. And I don't remember who it was. Somebody, I think it was Big Dave, signed me up as the Princess at the next national I went to. And they basically refused to remove it for like, I don't even know, 6-7 years after that. So
No,
it was
longer.
Just, I mean, it was funny because like, yeah, maybe longer.
Yeah, when you came back, like, I don't know, you were probably like 26, I think. It was still on the moto sheets at the Nationals.
And so I would, you know, the announcers that go to all the races, they would just give me crap, oh, the Princess, whatever, you know, and then I'd go back east or somewhere else, or somebody that didn't know who I was, and they'd be like, Zach, the Princess? Me? Like, just totally confused as to what's going on. So.
What's this 6-foot dude with a beard being called the Princess for?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, good work, Eric Philly. Good work on you.
Yeah, and then, of course, the other one was the beard, or it turned into Fear the Beard.
Fear the Beard. Yeah, who gave you that nickname anyways? Or did you self-appoint that nickname?
Yeah, no, I think that was, God, what's his name that does, Eric? That does all the...
Yeah, Grindle.
Yeah, Grindle. That does all the announcing. Yeah, he used to call me Fear the Beard, and then it just stuck, yeah.
Gotcha.
One No Shave November, I decided to just let it go, and then it just kept going, and all of a sudden it turned into a thing. And then I felt like this, like this obligation to keep my beard.
I know.
So
I know. Well, and then you kept it. You just shaved it.
I actually recently shaved it because I was getting tired of my boys hanging off of it. So now I don't know what I'm going to do when I go back.
I know.
To the races. Like, I have this whole Facebook page around it that I'm going to have to erase or something. I don't know.
I know. Yeah. Or just change the name. Fear the old man goatee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fear
awesome.
the guy with the belly.
Yeah, fear the guy with the belly. Oh, you have baby belly, dude. I got one with Alistair, so I can tease you about it a little bit. But you got baby belly. You got to get rid of that baby belly. Just to let you know. All right. Next question. This is from Eric Meyer, who You actually raced a bit from time to time. But he asked, who was your toughest competition from Oregon or from Washington State? I always remembered seeing your class having some good battles at nationals and state races while on the gate behind you guys. And we already hit this part, but he also had said, how is your business going? It's going great, according to Zach Bean.
Yeah.
So, first part of the question.
Biggest competition out of Washington?
Washington.
I think the guy that I've always knew it was going to be a battle, and I didn't know who was going to win, was Jason Rogers out of Port Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
He rode for Puget Sound. Yeah. It was always, it could be either one of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and, hitting on that a little bit, I mean, when we were, that was a good time. we hit it a little bit when I think I did the Steve podcast and about you and I coming up there to Washington from, gosh, what years were those? Like 96, 97? Is that it? Or 97, 98? In there?
Yeah, probably 97, 98.
97, 98. Okay. So, yeah, Zach and I, and sometimes other friends of ours, would hop in the Camaro, the bitchin' Camaro. Yes, 69. Was it 69? It was 69, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 69.
Yeah. Hugger orange with black stripes. Oh, yeah.
Yep, orange, black stripes, bitchin' Camaro that your dad owned. Still does, too, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, covered by a tarp, I'm sure. But, dude, we would drive up there mainly because we didn't have anybody to race in Oregon. I mean, we just didn't. Like, the guys that were around for our classes, in each one of our classes, my class had diminished a ton, and it was basically dudes that were starting kind of late in the program. You really seem like, I don't even remember you ever having serious competition in Oregon, like as far as Oregon riders goes. Yeah, so did you?
I remember me and Kyle Makinson used to always battle it out at like state finals and stuff.
Yeah, but he was all the way down in Grants Pass, which was further for us than going to Washington. So there was no point going to race.
Yeah, I didn't see him very often.
No. So yeah, we would go up to Washington a lot, and I mean, hell, dude, that's when I started getting fast, and I don't know, I'm sure it helped you a lot as well, and it helped me, gain District 1 plate, so that was cool.
That's how I learned how to ride in corners with people, is being up there and going to PI. And, yeah. So all you Portland people, I know some of you do, but blown over corners by those guys.
Yeah.
There was a kid. What was his name? Either Tristan or Travis Beckman.
Yeah.
I think he hated me, and he would just try to T-bone me over corners if he had a chance.
All the time.
Yeah.
I remember that kid. I remember watching you guys, and you were not an aggressive rider. I mean, you went for some moves from time to time, but you weren't really an aggressive rider. You're just fast, and
yeah, I've never intentionally tried to knock people around or anything. I just
And I remember him just freaking trying to T-bone you every chance he got. That was some good. Those were some good battles. Those were cool battles.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And then, I mean, good question, because we did go up there a lot to go race and whatnot. This one's kind of funny because you did this for a long time. But Brandon Bonneau asks, when did you stop bleaching your hair?
I don't know.
When it fell out?
Yeah, shut up. Maybe that's why it fell out.
I was going to say, maybe that was the problem. Maybe that was the problem.
I don't know. Maybe,
yeah.
Sophomore year of high school, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
So we'll get, Ben asked, you might want to ask him about running the Alpenrose track at 14. We'll get further into that in kind of the long program as we go through all the years and stuff that you've been doing this and whatnot, but we'll get further into that later. So Ben, you're going to have to listen to the whole show while you are at work playing on your stereo at B&B Repair. Moving on, Otis Hopkins, just a couple shout outs now. Otis Hopkins says, "What up, Captain Ron?" Good old Otis. Good dude right there. And Troy Plemons is just saying yes, but it was kind of neat to see Troy chime in and be like, "Look, it's Troy Plemons."
Yeah. He's a wanderer now, so
I know.
It's nice to hear from him.
I know it is. It is. Every once in a while, he just like message me, and if anybody doesn't know, Troy and Zach they lived together at one point. So let's see. Tony Hansen said, one of my all-time favorite guys, and I'm sure he's talking about not only your likeness and kind demeanor, but as well as your bike riding skills and abilities and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just gonna point out, like, again, all you guys that raced you in 2835X, just remind you that Zach didn't have a local track and he never went to a local track. He rode at nationals and that was it. And yes, he was that good. Just want to throw that out there.
Whatever.
We're just gonna put that down right there. Yeah. And so John the Bomb says, yes, remember the old Alpenrose days riding with this guy, and Troy Plemons definitely helped Sammy get his skills. Come on, John, give yourself some credit. You were riding out there just as much as Sammy was. Like, I don't know, is Sammy even doing anything with his skills anymore? Anyways, a couple local kids from our track when we were young. And PDX Stunter, who is, oh my God, Joel Ard, one of the Ard brothers. Remember the Ard brothers? Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if this is Joel or if it's his brother, but said, holy shit, I haven't seen Zach in forever. So you probably still won't because he lives in La Grande. Yep. So yeah, all the way in La Grande, long ways away. You might as well live in Idaho. I just want to point that out. Yeah. So that's all the questions I have from there. Let's see. Anybody got any questions left on the live show? Paul Stumpf, we kind of covered it before you got on. He said, is he coming to ride this year, 2018? Zach, do you want to answer that again?
This year, I don't know if I'll make it out this year. I'd like to get out a little bit this summer, but we'll see.
All right. And, I mean, your closest track is only an hour and a half away. It's not that far. Just because I live 4 blocks from my closest track.
Yeah. And really, I think of my closest track as Columbia Basin, because that's the closest track I want to ride on. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because Walla Walla is a little closer to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I actually like Walla Walla. I haven't been there since, I don't know, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever ago.
The first two straights are really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. They are. Well, good stuff. Or no, I won't do it. Oh man. I was listening to Rail the Berm this morning. Was it this morning? Yeah, early this morning, printing shirts. And there's a catchphrase that Colin Stiles always says. So it's kind of funny. Why did you write Chris, Brandon? I don't know what you wrote Chris for. I don't know. Don't know, buddy. That's about that. I don't know. You got anything else you want to say to the people out there on the live show?
Hi, everybody. No, I don't know.
Well, if anybody has any
more... See you guys soon.
Yes. See you guys soon. See you guys soon. Well, we're going to leave you guys out with some more music from Cowardice, Jeremy Bushnell's band. And this is off We Are Nothing. And the song is called Cold. All right. I want to thank again Jeremy Bushnell, Cowardice. Check him out on Bandcamp, Facebook, Tacoma-based. Albums are We Are Nothing and I Am Depression. I feel like I love you, dude, but you need to bring on some happier lyrics. No, you don't. It's your music. You obviously are going to do what you do, and you do it well. I want to thank our sponsor, Upright Clothing Company. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, and go find them up there in Washington. Jim Kinsey has been relocated up there in Washington. They also have, of course, a large presence still down here in Oregon, in Central Oregon. So, again, thank you, Upright Clothing Company. And thank you, everybody, for listening and watching the live show. We will see you guys on our next venture. And we're going to keep going here, Zach and I, and we're going to go into the long show. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.